Have you ever wondered if history was already written before it even happened? In the book of Daniel, a young man in exile was shown visions, dreams that laid out the rise and fall of empires, from Babylon all the way to the last kingdom on earth. Some of what he saw came true down to the detail, and some of it might be happening right now. Let's walk through Daniel's dreams, starting with the statue and ending with beasts. And along the way, let's ask, what does God see when he looks at the kingdoms we build? Chapter 1, The Statue of Kingdoms, Daniel 2. It started with a dream that shook a king to his core. Nebuchadnezzar, ruler of Babylon, had a vision of a massive statue, beautiful, powerful, made of different metals from top to bottom. But no one could explain what it meant, until God gave Daniel the answer. Daniel 2:32-33. The head was made of pure gold, its chest and arms of silver, its belly and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, and its feet partly iron and partly clay. Each part represented a kingdom, and together they formed a timeline that reaches from ancient Babylon all the way to the present. Babylon was rich, glorious, powerful. The buildings were covered in gold. The king's word was law. Everything revolved around one man, Nebuchadnezzar. But here's the thing about gold. It's beautiful, but soft. It bends easily. It doesn't last in a fight. And that's what Babylon was, majestic on the outside, but fragile on the inside. The chest and arms of silver, Medo-Persia. Next comes silver. Not as shiny, but stronger. The Medo-Persian Empire was a joint kingdom, symbolized by the two arms, Media and Persia. But Persia rose higher in power. Unlike Babylon, they ruled by law. What was written couldn't be changed. That made them more stable, but also less flexible. More power, less glory. The belly and thighs of bronze, Greece. Then comes bronze, strong, tough, and fast. That's Greece under Alexander the Great. He conquered faster than anyone before him. His armies moved like lightning. And when he died, his empire split in four. But the influence of Greek culture, language, and philosophy stayed alive for centuries. It shaped the world we still live in. The legs of iron, Rome. Then comes the iron. Rome didn't care about beauty. Rome crushed. Rome ruled. Rome built roads, enforced laws, and kept order through sheer power. If Babylon was gold, Rome was a war machine. And just like iron, it was strong but cold. It could build, but it could also destroy. Feet of iron and clay divided kingdoms. And finally, the feet. A strange mix of iron and clay, strength and weakness, power and division. This part represents the modern world, a world with advanced technology, weapons, and wealth, but divided in every possible way. Ideologies, values, politics, nations. It looks stable, but try to stand on clay and see how quickly it all falls apart. Daniel 2:43. They will try to mix together, but they will not hold. Why does the metal get cheaper as it goes down? That's something most people miss. Gold is valuable, but soft. Iron is cheap, but strong. Each empire becomes less noble, more forceful, more advanced, but less righteous. It's a spiritual decline. As man moves further from God, we build stronger systems, but with weaker hearts. The value goes down, the strength goes up, but the soul of the kingdom fades. The stone that shattered the whole thing. At the end of the vision, something incredible happens. A stone, not cut by human hands, comes out of nowhere, strikes the statue at its feet, and shatters the whole thing. Everything falls. Gold, silver, bronze, iron, clay. Gone. That stone? It's Christ, God's kingdom. Not built by man, but set in motion by heaven. Daniel 2:4. In the days of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed. The statue represents man's kingdoms. The stone is the one that finally lasts. Chapter 2. From Statue to Beasts. God's Point of View. Daniel 7. Years later, Daniel has a vision of his own, but this time it's nothing like a statue. It's terrifying. Instead of gold and silver, Daniel sees 4 beasts rising out of the sea, each more monstrous than the last. Why the change? Because this time it's not man's view, it's God's view. 2 visions, 2 perspectives. Nebuchadnezzar saw something impressive, a giant statue, something you'd admire, even fear. That's how the world sees power. But Daniel saw what's underneath, the truth behind the gold, and what he saw were beasts, kingdoms acting like animals, wild, predatory, godless. It's the same timeline, just from heaven's angle. 1 Samuel 16:7. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Beast number 1, lion with eagle's wings, Babylon. Powerful, majestic, the king of beasts. But the wings are plucked, the lion is humbled, just like Nebuchadnezzar, who lost his mind and lived like a wild animal until he finally acknowledged God. Beast number 2, bear raised up on one side, Medo-Persia. Lumbering, strong, devouring. One side is higher, because Persia was stronger than Media. 3 ribs in its mouth. Possibly 3 conquests, Lydia, Babylon, and Egypt. It's not fast, but it's unstoppable. Beast number 3, leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads, Greece. Fast, deadly, divided. The wings show speed, Alexander's lightning-fast campaigns. The 4 heads? After he died, his empire was split between his 4 generals. Beast number 4, the dreadful one, Rome and beyond. There's no animal for this one, iron teeth. 10 horns, a monster. This is Rome, but more than Rome. It represents an empire that evolves, adapts, and keeps going into the end times. The 10 horns, 10 kings or powers, and from them rises a little horn, a final ruler. The little horn, a final oppressor. It speaks arrogantly. It wages war against God's people. It's clever, persuasive, dangerous. Many believe this is the Antichrist, or a final system of rebellion against God, one that deceives the nations and targets the saints. But God has the last word. Daniel 7, verses 26 to 27. His power will be taken away, and the kingdom will be given to the saints of the Most High. Chapter 3, the ram and the goat, in Daniel 8. Daniel's next vision zooms in even more. This time, it's a battle between a ram and a goat. The ram, Medo-Persia, 2 horns. Media and Persia, 1 horn higher. Again, Persia rises above. It charges in all directions, just like the empire's historical conquests. The goat, Greece. The goat flies without touching the ground, symbolizing speed. The large horn is Alexander, and when it breaks, 4 smaller horns rise, his generals. From one of those horns, another little horn emerges, a wicked one. Antiochus, and more. This horn is often linked to Antiochus Epiphanes, a Greek king who desecrated the temple. But many believe he's just a shadow, a preview of a greater evil still to come. Chapter 4, Prophecy Meets History. The accuracy is undeniable. Babylon fell to Persia in 539 BC. Persia fell to Greece in 331 BC. Greece fell to Rome in 168 BC. Rome fractured, and its influence still shapes our world. We are now in the era of the feet, a world of iron and clay, strong in some places but unstable and divided, and the stone hasn't hit yet, but it will. Conclusion. the kingdom that will never fall. Daniel didn't just see history. He saw the end of history. He saw kingdoms come and go. He saw the worst humanity can build, strong but godless. And he saw something else. A stone. A kingdom not built by human hands. A kingdom that crushes all others and stands forever. Daniel 7:14. His kingdom is one that will never be destroyed. So, as we watch today's world unravel, remember, God already saw this. He told us what would happen, and he told us what comes next. The only question left is this: which kingdom are you part of?